Hey guys and girls, my name is Alan and welcome to today's video. It's just going to be a short one today. Basically, last week, Season 7 of Fortnite Battle Royale did drop. I made a short little video talking about very early changes to the map. As you can see, the whole bottom left quadrant is now covered in snow, and there's a couple of new POIs, points of interest. And I will go on to talk about those in more detail in future videos, but for today, I'm just going to gloss over very briefly the stuff that I missed in the first video. If I remember correctly, I don't think I covered it, but they added planes. The planes are actually really easy to fly, and you can actually put a lot of people onto the planes, your entire team in fact. Despite it being very slow, obviously you can get high ground and you can also just get around the map very quickly, well, relatively speaking. Quicker than running, not maybe as fast as the quad bike, but faster than the golf cart if you're taking your entire team. And to boot as well, there's actually a gun on there, so you can actually shoot structures. I mean, in terms of the damage of the weapon, it's not amazing, but you know, it puts down suppressive fire, and you've got the height advantage, so you can just scare enemies. However, you are a big flying target, and it does have a lot of health, so it's kind of hard to shoot down. Well, not hard to shoot down, but it takes a while to shoot down. However, it is easy to shoot down because it's so big and it's so slow, which also puts your passengers at risk as well. So don't fly in a straight line because that will get you shot. People have hit snipes already, and I've seen some of them and they're pretty good, and I'm looking to hit one of those myself and avoid getting sniped in return. So obviously, you know, just like you would in a quad bike, make sure you zigzag, try and put in a few rolls in every now and then. If you are going to shoot, then strafe while you're doing so, even though it makes it harder. But I think the primary thing is transport and to put suppressive fire down. I don't think it's actually meant for you to get kills. It's not to say you can't get kills, and dogfights are pretty fun using the vehicle, but it's not the main reason, in my opinion, for jumping into one. The other thing as well they've added, which I'm not a fan of, are the zip lines. I mean, it adds a lot of mobility to the map. It just, however, makes it look like the fact that there's just so much crap going on. They're all linked to these red buildings on top of hills and stuff, which I guess could just be temporary. They might end up taking out the zip lines in the future. But I think at the moment there's just too much, and it's fun to use, don't get me wrong. You jump onto it, you get really high, you know, quite quickly, or vice versa. You can jump from a high place to a low place quite quickly as well. But I don't like the fact that it's automatic, so you just jump near it, and even if you don't mean to jump on it, sometimes you get caught. You got to jump off it again, and it's just, yeah, it's they need to fine tune it, but I think there's just too many of them at the moment. They need to definitely cut down the number of zip lines available in the game, because if anything else, it just makes the map look really, really messy, and when you're trying to spot stuff going on, it's kind of hard. So that's just a personal thing for me. In terms of the snow areas, there is that big mound of snow in the middle, sort of like a peak. There's a name for it, I can't remember what it's called now. But that will, I would bet good money, melt over the next few weeks. Places like Greasy Grove and Fake Factories, which are quite popular to land at, have been covered in snow and ice. I think there was a surge of water when the island crashed into the main Fortnite island, and so obviously it got drowned in water and then it froze over because it's winter. That might thaw out coming spring, so it might return those places. I certainly hope so, because Greasy Grove is quite popular, as is Fake Factories. The other location that was popular and they took out was Risky Reels. Now, this was a real surprise. I wasn't expecting this. I originally thought it hadn't been touched at all by looking at the map just briefly, but when I went closer to it and checked it out, there's actually just a square concrete slab where Risky used to be, and that's called the block. And I've since found out that they're planning to use that space as like to show off when people create stuff in like playgrounds and the other creative mode, which eludes me, I can't remember the name. So they're looking to show off stuff like that, which is a cool concept, but I don't understand why they had to sacrifice Risky Reels for it. There's so many other places they could have put that. The other side of Whaling, for example, there is actually a turtle there now. I don't know if you've seen it, which is kind of cool. I don't think there's any other animals that I've seen as of yet on the map, but the turtle one's really interesting. It's a throwback to some of the animals that they had back at the start of the year. And yeah, they could have got rid of Junk Junction, for example. There's also that scrapyard south of Paradise, which they could have got rid of, because not many people land in those locations. So I'm really confused as to why they took out Risky when Risky was a really popular location to land. And I thought it was quite fun to land there as well, at times when it wasn't too crazy, of course. Right, so as you can see, the video is coming to an end, so I'm going to have to start wrapping things up. As you can see, we just won our first match of Season 7, and we got a new umbrella for it. Another wintry themed umbrella. Actually, this would have been a cool thing to put into the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass, I've already said in a previous video, the one that links at the start, I'm not impressed with at all. However, I did say to Rudy that I would buy it as soon as we won the first match of Season 7, and this was it. So I bought it live on stream, and even though I didn't really want to buy it, I kind of said I would, therefore I followed through, but also because I know that when I play in a squad, they do value the extra XP, so I thought I'd do it just for them. And even though I've got skins to use, For the time being, I'm still going to rock default because I think the skins in the battle pass are not very good, and I'm not going to use them just because I've got them. I'm gonna maintain some sort of standard, so I'm gonna stick as a no skin for the time being until I find a skin that I really do like and I want to use. So yeah, that's about it really. I bought the battle pass, I got a new umbrella, and I got one kind of half decent kill, and that was it. The match itself obviously wasn't massively entertaining, therefore I chopped a lot of it out. But I just wanted to do a quick update video today anyway. It was not a proper video. I'll save one of those for later in the week. But yeah, thanks for watching as always. If you did enjoy the content, do consider tapping on that button. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I did post part 2 of my trip to America recap story on Saturday. That's an Uncharted 4 multiplayer gameplay. I'll link that on the screen now. I'll also link in the description below. As always, if you've got any thoughts you'd like to share me regarding anything I've talked about or any gameplay you've seen, do let me in the comment section below. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I will see you later. And now it's hard to breathe.